Okay, so what are black people like, right? What are black people like in Pittsburgh, right? You're sitting on the couch, you're watching the news, you see a black protest in the streets of Chicago protesting against Donald Trump, and you have some sort of stigma towards black people, right?
Hmm.
Well, anyways, my name is Prince Sefa-boakye. I'm a black entrepreneur as well as a blogger and a law student. And today I'll be asking what are black people like in Pittsburgh? And with me, I have none other than my good friend and mentor, Mr. Trimaine Davis. Trimaine Davis, for those who don't know, he is a black scholar as well as a black activist in the community. And his hometown happened to be from Pittsburgh. So I'm really, really honored as well as pleased that he's joining here with us from all the way from Pittsburgh. So I'm going to go ahead and let Trimaine introduce himself and tell him a little bit more about black people. So go ahead and Trimaine, introduce yourself.
Well, what's going on? First off, I just want to say I am completely honored to be a part of this, man. This is history in the making, and I know that you have interviewed so many incredible people. So for you to have me to be a part of that list, man, I'm just very honored. But I mean, pretty much to keep it short and humble, you know, I'm Trimaine Davis, and you know, I'm born and raised in Pittsburgh, California, and I love my city, and I will always, you know, put my city before anything else.
Excellent, man. Well, I'm going to go ahead and ask the first question, man. You coming from Pittsburgh, California. What are black people like in Pittsburgh?
Well, black people are such a melting pot of so many different cultures and different areas throughout the United States. You know, the black population was founded after the Great Migration from a lot of folks traveling from the South and then moving towards the North. And so when you meet folks in my hometown, I mean, their roots go back from Alabama, Arkansas, to Mississippi, to Florida. You know, you'll find that it's a lot of families that originated from the South that have moved up to Northern California. So we definitely have those Southern roots, as well as a kind of Bay Area spirit mentality as well.
Okay. Wow. I never knew about that history.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so tell me, what does it feel? How does it feel to be black in Pittsburgh?
It's a beautiful thing. You know, I think that along with just in general Bay Area culture, you know, there's a big intersect between blackness and also Bay Area culture. But I mean, with everything else, the things that we see, you know, on TV or just throughout, you know, our culture pretty much runs American culture in a sense. You know what I mean? So it's always a good look, you know, being who you are. Now, of course, we have our issues as well with just overall systemic issues. But for the most part, man, it's a beautiful thing to be black and know and be proud of that, you know, in my hometown.
That's good. That's good. Because, you know, some people think about the Bay Area, about black people, it's a little bit different. You know, they sound sort of negative stigma. So what you're telling me is everything is positive there. There's no like hatred. It's good to be black in Pittsburgh.
I would say about 65% of it is good, which is a great thing because it's more than half, right?
Yeah, that's more than half. That's good.
But we definitely still have our issues with systemic racism. We have our issue with, you know, the colorism within our own communities.
Right.
So those things still plague. You know, all of the issues that go on throughout our nation still plague my city and also my community. But I think the great thing is that majority of people have a positive mindset about it, which helps with battling that struggle.
That's great, man. That's great. So now I want to talk to my audience out there. This is for the question that I feel that a lot of people want to understand. What should the world know about black people in Pittsburgh?
The world should know that, I mean, we are hardworking. And a lot of us have a big chip on our shoulder because we're one of the cities in the Bay Area that never gets mentioned, right? When you think of the Bay Area, you don't think of Pittsburgh, California. You think of Oakland, you think of San Francisco. If you're familiar with the area, you might throw in Richmond or Vallejo, those areas, but you hardly ever hear someone say, well, I'm from Pittsburgh, California. And then you hear other people say, oh yeah, I know exactly where that's at. You know, so I think because of that, we have a big chip on our shoulder, and it causes us to work very hard to let people know exactly where we are from. Because although we are a part of the Bay Area and we love the Bay Area, we definitely want to make sure people know that we're from Pittsburgh.
Cool, man. Cool, man. And last but not least, I want my audience to understand, because you know you're really into the Black community, advocating issues, advocating for social injustice, and so I have to ask you, what is your hope for Black people in Pittsburgh?
My hope is that we can get to a point to where nationalism becomes like breathing. Well, we don't have to think about what is the concept of nationalism. We don't have to be embarrassed or ashamed to share that nationalism. You know, for the fact that we have to still promote Black nationalism tells me that we're not there yet. So when it gets to a point to where I'm looking at another Black person the same way I value and look at someone else that has a business, particularly a white person that may have that business, then we still have a lot of work to do. And that's in regards to every aspect of our lives. So the business aspect, education, our kinship, our brotherhood, you know, how we feel about us as far as mankind, that all starts with having a positive concept of nationalism. And so I'm going to keep pushing that agenda until I can't anymore.
That's excellent, man. Thank you. Well, guys, this is What Are Black People Like, a special edition for Pittsburgh, California. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And before we end this show, before we even started this show, Trimaine, you were telling me about this scholarship that you were actually raising in there in Pittsburgh, California, and I found that very heartwarming. Do you mind telling our audience out there what you're doing right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So myself and a couple of my friends, we're currently getting ready for tomorrow. We have a big event. It is our 7th annual Greg Ashford Memorial Alumni Basketball Game. So Greg Ashford is and was a late great friend of mine, a very close friend that I had in high school, who unfortunately passed away due to a drowning accident during a week before our high school graduation. And about 8 years ago, my basketball team, particularly myself and my good friend Hervé Malone, we came together and established a partnership with our high school, which is Pittsburgh High. And since then, we have been putting together fundraiser events in the form of an alumni basketball game to raise money for scholarships for 2 students who are going off to college. And so tomorrow will be our 7th annual event. So we're very excited about this, and we're just very proud of the work we're doing. And we're also looking very forward to growing into making it much bigger.
Excellent. So guys, again, if you want to follow Trimaine Davis, find him on Facebook, Trimaine Davis. I'll provide a link where you guys can follow him. And also you have a Facebook fan page, right? Is that
yes,
correct?
Sir. Well, I don't know if it's necessarily a fan page. I'm not that big time just yet. But what I have is it's called Trimaine Speaks. And so you know, what I'm doing definitely is now filming and just timelining just my different events that I do when I go out to public speak. And you know, the topics vary, but really what it's about is just liberation, and also Black nationalism is always in the forefront of everything that I do.
Excellent. Well, guys, as far as you want to follow me, right now I'm doing a movement here called Black Entrepreneurship, and you guys are interested about becoming a Black entrepreneurship or taking your business online, check out my mailing list, which is beblack.livelikeanentrepreneur.com. Now, if you want to be on the show, contact me directly through my other blog, which is princessdailyjournal.com. I'll provide the links below. And with that being said, again, thank you, Trimaine, for taking the time from your daily schedule to be on the show. Please send my deepest regard to your queen.
Yes.
Yes. And I'm looking for great things. I expect great things from you. And also, guys out there, until next time, as I always say, love yourself and love others. All right.
Thanks
Take care. No problem.
All right.